Hello, Planet Earth. Welcome to my YouTube channel. We're at IDK, my BFF Jill 730.
My BFF
Jill
730.
I'm Preston L. Young, wishing you warm salutations and congratulations. As always, you've made your way to the Buffington Post. Today I'll be continuing my Season 9 coverage of the Buffyverse with Angel and Faith Season 9, issue number 21. It's What You Want, Not What You Need, Part 1. But before we get into it, previously on Angel and Faith.
All of Season 9 of Angel and Faith has been predicated upon Angel trying to bring Giles back to life. Along the way, we have met Alistair, a magician and friend of Giles's when he was, alive, who has been urging Faith to stop Angel from doing this and basically telling her that Angel's quest to bring Giles back to life is just going to create a hell on Earth. Speaking of hell on Earth, we have Whistler, Pearl, and Nash. Now, Whistler, of course, is the one who guided Angel along his whole souled destiny, really, and also guided him along the path to Twilight. And now, while Angel was playing Twilight, he had Pearl and Nash, these evil, crazy demon twin halflings, who just want to destroy and kill and mate with demons to make more demons and find a place on Earth that they can, have for themselves. Well, now that Buffy has destroyed magic, which A, is going to make resurrecting Giles hard, but also B, is making sure that Pearl, Whistler, and Nash have no world in which they belong because they're all these kind of halfling demons with no purpose in life, just like Angel and Faith. And so they've decided to gather up all of the magical stuff out there that still retains its magical properties to basically reintroduce magic into the world, even though it's going to create hell on Earth. So hopefully we can bring Giles back to life without creating a hell on Earth or making Giles live in this hell on Earth, but
Here we go, it's What You Want, Not What You Need, Part 1.
You are invited.
This is the chance that we've been waiting for. It all comes down to this defining moment. We can wait no more. Never say never. Never gonna stop us now. Maybe forever. Always lay the pedal down. Never say never. Never gonna stop us now. This is it, now it's all on the line. Never say never. Never gonna stop us now.
So the issue opens up on the fact that, sure, we've got all of the elements together. We've got the magical crown that made Giles' body not all decrepit anymore, and we've got all of the parts of his soul in the estuary, but we've still got the fact that we need to do this spell in a world without magic. And of course, it turns out that Angel has found a spell that will work in a world without magic. The only kind of caveat is that it will probably kill whoever casts the spell. And basically, the way that Angel is going to make the spell work is basically just by doing a smaller version of what Whistler, Pearl, and Nash are trying to do by using a bunch of magical items to power the spell rather than reaching out into another dimension. Now, Faith does not really like this plan at all, taking, inspiration from Whistler, Pearl, and Nash, the crazy time guys, but at this point, she receives a call from Buffy, who tells her something about some girl called Dawn and doesn't really understand it. And Spike is like, "Wait, Dawn is sick? What's wrong with Dawn?" Angel and Faith are both like, "What are you talking about? Who is this Dawn character? Buffy is an only child." And Spike is just incredulous. He doesn't understand why Faith and Angel suddenly don't remember Dawn. So Spike runs off and says that he's always, after a damsel in distress, and, that's evidenced by the fact that he saved Angel's ass, and they don't understand why he's leaving, but clearly we see that Spike and his actual love for Dawn is allowing for him to remember her, even though she's fading away from reality with, the whole lack of magic situation over in Buffy. So Angel wants to power the spell with all of the magical items within Alistair's home because, of course, he has all of this, magical menagerie of things, right? And basically, Alistair is saying, no, I'm not going to let you take all of my, my magical trophies to just bring Giles back to life when I've been the main one preaching against this thing in the first place. Angel and Faith think it's super suspect that basically Alistair has this whole horde of magical items, and yet he's the only one who hasn't been looted by Pearl, Whistler, and Nash while they've been trying to get all this magical stuff, right? And so it looks like he's working with Whistler, Pearl, and Nash. Alistair explains that he's got this magic item on top of all the other ones that basically masks the mystical energy that is within his home, and so basically it would be impossible to locate these magical items because they're being kind of covered up. Faith says, okay, that's all well and good, but from where I'm standing, it looks like you don't really care about trying to give Giles his life back. You just care about your precious things. These are the things you want. You don't need them in this world without magic. You're just kind of hoarding them to show off. Angel, Faith, and Alistair have this whole confrontation about who's right and who's wrong, and what's right and what's wrong, and the punchline is Giles is dead, and we have everything we need, and so basically Alistair concedes to bring Giles back to life with the help of all of his magical items. He's going to sacrifice all of that, but he needs for Sophronia and Lavinia to join them in the spell because basically they need to reassemble Giles from his very essence, and since they loved and cared about Giles as much as anyone, they are necessary in helping to reconstruct a real Giles. So Lavinia is totally gung-ho about the plan. She says, you know what? This is what I told you. I told you not to stop, no matter what. Bring Giles back to life. And she says, you know what? I'm glad that we've gotten this far because Sophronia and I, we feel really guilty about basically ruining his childhood. And so there's no power on Earth that could stop us from trying to bring Rupert back to life. Now, Sophronia, on the other hand, had told Faith in the first place that if Angel went too far in what he was trying to do, that she had to put a stop to it no matter what. And we find out that the reason for this is because Sophronia had actually magically revivified someone who had died, a lover of hers, back during the London Blitz during the war. But he wasn't himself when she revivified him. He wasn't complete, and so the hardest decision that Sophronia herself has ever had to make is actually putting this guy out of his misery, even though she loved him to death and back, and Faith gets that. She realizes that that might be what she has to do to Angel and or Giles, if that's the case, and Sophronia says, okay, that's great, so long as you know what's really at stake. So everybody is in agreement that they're going to cast this spell, but Faith goes and talks to Angel and she says, you know, I realize you want to bring Giles back, but that's not going to change what people think of you. It's not going to undo everything you did as Twilight, but Angel says, I don't care what people think of me. I know what I did. I accept that. I'm just trying to right this wrong, and it doesn't matter. I just want to do right by Giles. And so we're gonna do the spell. Angel gets the spell up and running, and the kind of like gonna kill you curse hits him, but you know, he's already dead, so it doesn't work, and so Alistair starts working the mojo in Aramaic, and it's all like a light show and crazy. Well, all of a sudden, like wham bam blast, here come Pearl and Nash in their crazy laser green vision to just fuck up the party. Whistler, Pearl, and Nash show up to basically loot all of Alistair's magical items so that they can do their whole like magic virus bomb situation they've been trying to do. Nash like blasts Angel's face, he's all deformed, but he's not giving up, and he basically says, fuck you, Nash, I'm a vampire, I'm gonna fucking kill you if you really want to tussle with me. Pearl doesn't like that too much, and she goes to basically try and help Nash, but then Faith comes along and knocks her one good. So Pearl sends her crazy laser vision out, and it completely incapacitates Alistair. He can't even breathe long enough to complete the spell that they're trying to do to resurrect Giles. So Lavinia steps in and starts taking over. She's reading the spell in Aramaic, and she is basically handling it, okay? It looks like everything's good, but then we hear this scream, and there's this, light show of Giles, and it's all crazy and scary. And maybe it worked, but what exactly did they do that worked? And that's where we end the issue. This issue is great. It is everything that we have been waiting for. It's everything that we've been building toward. Season 9 has a very clear mission statement, which is bring Giles back to life, but at what cost? And here we are really dealing with all of those questions and all of those kind of incentives, and here we are, we have cast a spell, but what will it mean going forward? I love that Sophronia and Lavinia are both completely down on both ends of the spectrum. Lavinia is saying bring him back at all costs, but Sophronia is saying bring him back, but know when too much is too much, because we all know that Angel has a hard time when it comes to deciding when too far has actually gone too far. Faith talking to Angel about how this is all selfish for him, but at the same time she recognizes that it's selfish for her, that she really does just want Giles back. It's all of our characters are finally forced to face what it is that they have been going through all season. Faith, as much as she wanted to tell Angel it was wrong to try and bring Giles back, at the end of the day, she wants him. She doesn't need him, but she wants him. And Angel, as much as, the world may need Giles, he doesn't need Giles. He wants Giles back to try and right this wrong. Alistair, as far as what he needs, he doesn't really need for anything, and his magical items, they may provide him some kind of protection, but when it really comes to the people out there and the forces out there in the world, they're not going to do him any good. They're just relics, and they don't matter. And we really don't get quite enough of Spike in this issue, because Spike is the only one who is going after what really does matter. Bringing Giles back to life is a great ideal. It's a great goal, but at the end of the day, it has all of these question marks. Is it right? Is it okay? Is it good? But at the end of the day, we know that trying to save Dawn is good, and Spike puts what is needed over what is wanted. Dawn represents all of humanity. Giles represents a fatherhood, something that you can't really ever get back in the first place. And we will see where all of that goes when we go into what you want and not what you need, part 2. But let me know what you thought of the issue down in the comment section below. I'm Preston L. Young. I hope you're having a great 2016 so far, everybody. Have yourself a great day today, and we will see you next time. Bye.
When you try your best but you don't succeed, when you get what you want but not what you need, when you feel so tired but you can't sleep, stuck in rivers, and the tears come streaming down your face, when you lose something you can't replace, when you love someone but it goes to waste, could it be worse? Lights will guide you home and ignite your bones, and I will try to fix you.
Okay. My BFF. Joe? 730.